rebelled against the rules of dance because I've been continuously bothered by why we have such a disillusionment about our own movement in our own bodies. And when we're surrounded by such liberating tools and technology, why we're still obsessed with movement in relation to a 6-foot high self. So for the last 5 years, I have ripped my craft to shreds to try and find out what dance could be for the 21st century. And I discovered augmented dance, the fusion between movement and technology. And during this talk, I'm going to tell you 3 secrets that completely unlocked a new way of working for me and moved me from choreographing musical theater to choreographing cranes. Number 1. Augmented dance is only possible if you find comfort in the chaos. Augmented dance is a melting point, a live dialogue between technology, an audience, and movement. And it is that sweet spot right in the center where something extraordinary evolves. But that sweet spot also contains chaos. Let me break this down. In dance, you are taught by a master who was taught by a master. And it is that specificity and that virtuoso that keeps you safe and makes you the star that you are. The Shim Sham is a classic example of that. But accidentally, what that creates is self-referential work that for you and I, maybe, is utterly coded vocabulary that has no relationship to how we move on stage. Most of the dance industry won't touch technology with a barge pole unless it's another static projection or a streamed performance. And in some ways, I understand that. Because for things to evolve, you have to interrogate your craft. And that,
shoes,
for a period of time,
my
leaves you
feet, these
feeling violently de-skilled.
feet, these,
But if rather than worrying about that feeling of being de-skilled, you find comfort in that chaos, in that sweet spot, then something special happens. Dance is able to evolve.
these, feet, my shoes, shoes.
And what you get is this dynamic dialogue, this unique and changing performance that is unique to every single one of you here. Nobody else will see that like that again. It's new movement qualities, it's new movements, new audiences to dance. So, you rock. 2. The best question in the entire world is, can you tell me more? Because if you want to find that sweet spot, you have to understand that the chaos of the unknown is going to enter into every single bit of your collaborative and creative process. Working with coders and product designers, architects and engineers, urban designers, futurists, often mean that they're using a coded vocabulary, a technicality of language that is as isolating as dance can be. And when we have those skilled members in our team, when they bring an idea to the table, when they have an inspiration, they are likely to first of all express that within that coded vocabulary that may mean nothing to you. And our habits as adults is to block that, because being unskilled is unnerving. When somebody talks to us in a coded language that we do not understand, our instinct is to walk away. But if you take that first rule of finding comfort in the chaos, you need another tool. And if you stop and breathe and try just asking, can you tell me more? Even if you don't initially understand it. You give validity to that team member, to that idea they brought to that table, and suddenly they relax. And they explain their idea again, and invariably, they drop the jargon. Working in augmented dance has taught me to take risks of who I work with and how I work with people and why and where. Because that unknown, that comfort in that chaos is extraordinary to me as an individual, as well as to the creative process. And being able to ask that question of, can you tell me more, and not being afraid about being unskilled, has meant that I can learn, and I can learn from all these extraordinary collaborators, all these people around me. And so in my view, augmenting our working practices is the future. Using the incredible tools around us to make our physical craft more visceral is the way forward. Annette Walker, ladies and gentlemen. Three, the idea of more is really intoxicating. Just beyond intoxicating. So we had been creating these augmented dance shows, these spectacle shows and interactive installations all over the world, performing to thousands of people. But once you start thinking about more, you start to see things differently. And I became increasingly aware that our cities are dancing. That our civic spaces are shaping the way we move, that our infrastructure, the lifts in our buildings, the light pouring through a window, the puddles we jump, the traffic that we weave through. This is influencing our movement every single day. Far more than any individual performance that I could create. So, with more in mind, I coined a new job title and started to call myself an architectural choreographer. To set myself a challenge, but also to prove and to be able to show people and give myself permission to show people that our cities are dancing every day. I had the most grand plans. I wanted to make work which was 100 foot high, not 6 foot. I wanted to show that that infrastructure in our cities that I can see moving is beautiful and extraordinary, and show that to others. I wanted to reclaim our skylines. I wanted to ask questions about who has ownership of our cities, and what the future of our cities could actually look and feel like. And for 15 minutes, I wanted to give a gift of the city back to our citizens. Last year, I was awarded one of the inaugural Wired magazine Creative Fellowships. And I grabbed the bull by its horns and set about showing that a city can dance. This is my city. This is Bristol in the UK. And in October, for one night, I made the harbour my stage, my set. And I made 3 industrial construction cranes my dancers, my inspiration. I made my city a natural auditorium, and 10,000 people came to see 3 cranes do a synchronized dance routine, which is totally extraordinary. And what I love most about this was the way in which people chose to see it from their favorite viewpoint, especially this group just here, who chose an amazing vantage plant on top of a pancake shop. So I'm going to show you a video of what happens if we do reclaim our cities, if we do say that our cities can dance. So I suppose my final provocation to all of you is, actually it's quite simple. Which city would you like to see dance next? Thank you very much indeed.